Pressed by Cench. Got pressed by Cench. Oh, God. Cench was cool. It was his manager. His manager hated.
So Trap Lord Ross actually met Central C in real life on Academic Stream. This wasn't on purpose. They came across each other and it went left. And people around Central C are not happy with Trap Lord Ross. We'll get into more of that.
Central C's manager confronted Trap Lord Ross live. We got another one from Festify, the best when it comes to UK media and reporting on things going on within the culture. We're reacting to exactly what happened. I know it happened maybe over the weekend and I'm a bit late, but I just wanted to actually give my reaction on it and see what's going on here.
Been down there. I got pressed by Cench, man. I got pressed by Cench. Oh, God. Cench was cool. It was his manager. His manager hates me.
So Trap Lord Ross actually met Central C in real life on Academic Stream. This wasn't on purpose. They came across each other and it went left. And people around Central C are not happy with Trap Lord Ross. We'll get into more of that. But obviously...
So, first, big shout out to Trap Lord Ross because whether we like it or not, he is the biggest when it comes to reporting on music out of the UK, right? I believe that he built a lot of his traction by reporting on the American culture and what's going on over there. And as you guys already know, even me, I do it as well on this channel as well. I speak a lot about what's going on in America because it's a bigger market and the UK is just emerging. You can literally see how people are taken towards people like Bouncer, people like Tanks, etc., talking about the UK media. Like we're still growing, you know what I mean? This space is still growing, but Trap Lord Ross is the biggest when it comes to this, right? So with him, I think I was watching one of his videos, right? And he was talking about how when he got to the place, he actually realized that, oh, maybe they are selling something here and maybe he might bump into Central C. So we can't necessarily say that he didn't anticipate something like this happening. Let's be very, very real. Especially with how controversial and how big that documentary actually got to. For those that don't know the documentary I'm talking about, I'll actually show you guys. So at the current moment, the documentary has 1.1 million views and it came out 8 months ago. But you guys got to realize that, yes, it's 1.1 million views, which is a lot of views. But in reality, some people might be like, oh, it's only 1.1 million views. But the thing that people don't realize with Trap Lord Ross's audience is that, again, because Trap Lord Ross is the guy here in the UK and also even out there as well, his audience is listening in on absolutely everything he has to say. And they're taking it for, you could say, gospel. So with Central C trying to break into, in fact, he's already broken into America. He is the biggest out of the UK, barring maybe someone like Dave, right? So with Central C now in the American market and people accepting him the most that we've ever seen before, this was not the best look for the image and the persona that Central C basically is, right? So that's the reason why there was a lot of controversy around this entire video. And I definitely recommend you guys should watch it. I'll leave the link down below in case you want to go watch it. Because Trap Lord Ross, he's sick at his job. Very, very sick at his job. And the thing is that he does actually say quite a lot of good things about Central C. But of course, the first, I would say, 90% of the documentary just talking about how Central C came from here. Is he actually a part of that lifestyle? Did he actually make it this way or that way? And then obviously comparing him to Digga D. And whenever you make that comparison, it's always something that people are going to hold on to and it's always a controversial topic. You guys even saw I made a video about it, about Digga D making a diss song against Central C. And then all of a sudden, whenever those type of scenarios come up, it always blows up, which is crazy. And we should kind of leave it behind, but at the same time, it's a topic that we have to cover. So I covered it.
He made that documentary where he criticized Central C a lot. It was 3 hours long.
He don't got no beef with you.
Squash the beef, man. Can we squash the beef or is it? Never have beef, Are you sure?
Never have beef. Come on, man.
Actually, he's even saying, can we squash the beef? So he knew that something would have been up. And big respect to Central C, man. Firstly, he's an artist. So as an artist, the biggest thing that I feel as if though Central C understands that everyone else that could have been the biggest or could have made it out, or the comparisons, people like Digga D, for example, that these guys don't understand is that they don't actually embody what it means to be an artist in terms of just social media and in terms of like the public eye. We already understand that PR is a very, very big thing. Like how people perceive you, especially when you're talking outside of ends. Like no one cares about what's going on at ends and whether the man them respect you or not, etc. We're talking about the public, the average human being, because the majority of people, they're not on roads. They don't even, for example, I was even on TikTok literally this morning and I saw something about Comic-Con. For those that don't know what that is, it's basically a place that people that love anime, they dress up they go and they attend it and they support, and obviously it's a community for anime lovers, right? All of a sudden, you see young black men in tracksuits, and then a lady now makes a video on TikTok saying, I didn't know that we are going to see roadmen at Comic-Con. Like, which is crazy. But in saying that, majority of people haven't been exposed to what some of us call an everyday reality and what also Central C talks about in his music. So the fact that we had someone that was able to communicate what's actually going on in the UK, obviously landscape, the lifestyle that some people live, how dangerous the UK actually is. Because when you go out to America as well, or even outside of America, even if you go to Africa as well, people that aren't really tapped into the culture, they don't actually understand that it really gets down here. Do you know what I mean? So Central C was able to convey that message, brand as that, and also kind of represent it in a way that's also palatable, because he understands things like this, where he keeps it cool. Whether or not he believes that these two are cool or not, he's not going to show you like that, because that's going to spoil his image and spoil his back. Why would he do that? And that's the reason why I always say that Central C, in my opinion, is still, barring again someone like Dave, is still one of the best to ever do it when it comes to music and actually treating it as a business and becoming a multi-millionaire from it. So big up to him.
Hey, bro, you know I said your album was the best UK album that was ever dropped?
I heard you. No, he just say you gotta do a little bit more research. He said you're not the facts ain't there yet.
Hey, I need to get clued up, man. You need to fill in the gaps and let me know what I missed.
No, he's not gonna fill in the gaps. That's the point. No, well, you know, I said you do me a favor.
Shout out to academics as well. Like, without academics, you know, like, a lot of people wouldn't have the formula, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, I remember watching him from the get-go. This guy from the Chicago drill days and doing his thing. Now, this guy is he's the guy, man, whether you like it or not.
Oh, you say you do him a favor?
Hey, look,
So the guy about to inject now is YBs. He cares the most about what Trap Ross had said and criticized Central C, basically saying he's not authentic. He leapfrogged over a lot of rappers with the persona, the night tech, and everything. YBs is the manager. He's only just recently done a face reveal. He used to wear the mask and stand alongside Cench. But this is what was said.
Hey, listen, what did you be coming to speak like that?
I mean, I thought I was just saying what's up.
You need to say what's up. He good.
Just saying what's up. How is it?
YB's telling him straight away, yo, get out of the booth. Do you know what I mean? Now, for those that don't know, YB's is not someone to be joked around with. Like, there's no point even talking about the head, you know what I mean? But bro's been to Penn. He's lived that type of lifestyle. Obviously came out, did his thing, became multi-millionaire, and then obviously invested into Central C. Now we're seeing what he's doing right now. But barring obviously that past life, I always say that, yes, you can take someone out of the hood, but sometimes instincts still kind of kick in. Do you know what I mean? It's similar to, for example, some of the man them, like, we're in certain environments and it's time to kind of turn up, like, bro, you're going to turn up. Do you know what I mean? Even though obviously us when I'm more civilized, we're looking into going to businesses and do the legitimate route, etc. So it's just part of the kind of thing. If you feel as if they'll look like this guy has this disrespecting me and feels like he can come into my vicinity, what do you expect YBs to do? So I see some people making comments like he's making Central C look bad, etc. No, I believe that this is exactly what a manager needs to do. They need to protect their artists because they have their artists' best interests at heart. Do you know what I mean? So if he hadn't done that, then it will literally be sending signals to everyone that these guys aren't necessarily on it. I'm not talking about on it in terms of on the road. I'm talking about protecting their image, protecting the brand, protecting the multi-millions that they made. And that all comes down to respect and everything that surrounds it as well.
It's good, bro. It's good. Bro. Relax, man.
And the thing about Trap here is that he is the biggest, but he gives me no disrespect as well, by the way. Like, if I ever come in contact, etc., with him, I'll give him his props. At the end of the day, he is actually the best when it comes to this. I feel like the only other person I can say is as sick when it comes to like doing documentary style type of topics and talking about every other thing, in my opinion, is Tanks. Like, Tanks is cold, bro. Like, the guy will go into detail, read documents, do this, do that, do this, do that. Then you got Bouncer, of course, who are big up all the time. He got his own lane, etc. But Trap is the biggest. But he reminds me of, like, I don't know how to say it, like, you know, people that are not from ends or not from the type of lifestyle, but they have an express interest in it. So it's like certain signals or certain things that you'll say to them, they're just looking at you like, what? Because they're not computing that, yo, it means that it's game time, do you know what I mean? So he reminds me of them type of people that was not necessarily part of the culture, had a vetted interest in the culture, became part of the culture, and is now basically a spokesperson for the culture from his perspective. Do you know what I mean? So that's the reason why when you have someone like Bouncer, who is obviously he's making videos now saying he's not part of the UK culture and stuff like that, I understand, but he's been in the roughest of roughish, you know what I mean? Then he's gone out, transformed his life, had L's, transformed his life again, had L's, now he's on this YouTube thing, doing this thing and killing it. Now that you have someone that's actually from it, that's now talking and actually saying everything rather than just commentators, there's no wonder why people are a bit like we don't really know if to support him or whether not to, you know what I mean? It's part of the game. But trap is basically what I said prior, in my personal opinion. But big up to him regardless, man.
Oh, outside the booth. No, come outside, no food outside the booth. You can talk to me.
Central just like, yo.
That's what it is.
This was some sort of clothing or sneaker event. You can see the Sinner logo up in the corner. So Trap Ross is in the spot where Central C and his team are. To be fair, he stands his ground, but he has got his own security, Trap Ross, beside him in this situation, which made him feel a lot more comfortable.
Take yourself out of the booth, man. Take him out of the booth. I ain't got nothing. Take him out. I got him. Mileage with it. I got it, bro. Come on, man.
And naturally, if again it wasn't for the fact of protecting the brand, etc., and it was in different circumstances, we all know that it probably would have been a different interaction. Do you know what I mean? So I'll definitely say like Trap should definitely be a bit more cautious when approaching things like this. You know what I mean?
Bro, let it go. Go, bro. Go, get him, bro. I'm out my beef, bro. Get to my beef. Hurry up, bro.
Hey, good to see you, man. No, it is that.
Huh?
See me.
You chill.
I make the music.
Yeah.
I run a business. So I can watch things from a different standpoint.
Do you get it? Bro, that's what I'm saying. Central C is not only calculated, but he understands this game. Like, he understands exactly how to play the game. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's actually the best to do it, because he's willing to also play the game, you know? We want people like, for example, we want other people to also get on the top, etc. But you got someone like Dave, for example, he's just dropped a project. I'm maybe going to talk about that later. Dave is incredible. You know what I mean? That's the person that everyone in the UK is like, yo, when you listen to the UK music, listen to Dave. You know what I mean? When Central came across, now is a case where before you even say listen to UK music, people will now be like, oh yeah, we listen to UK music. Like, yeah, we know about Central C. You know what I mean? So Central C, like, he did so well that he became the golden boy of the UK, you could say. Do you know what I mean? But in saying that, when we're now looking at all the other artists that had the chance to do so and actually almost get there, is either they fumbled the bag and went to jail, say someone like Digga D, let's be real. They don't want to play the game at all, someone like Dave, who is excellent and doesn't even need to play the game and is still probably going to go #1 in a couple of days. Or they just fall off, like they lose their motivation after the millions come in or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Central C is actually willing to play the game. He's willing to play the sport for what it is. And that's the reason why I genuinely believe he's going to be the biggest out of the UK. Like, and we're going to talk about it. Like, no one's going to talk about, oh, like, people hated on Central C and da-da-da. They're all going to talk about how he was the greatest. Because when you have a great, after the period of time that they were active, no one ever remembers, you know, the clown and stuff like that. They're all going to remember, oh, he's the first to do this, first to do that. He has this accolade. Do you know what I mean? He's probably going to be one of the first to get a Grammy as well, you know what I mean? So, let's see, man. Let's see.
Wait, but you see when
Remo, what's poppin'?
you see certain people, obviously,
Yeah.
you do the same thing. You do the same thing.
Yeah,
So it's a similar thing,
I know
but
them vibes, you know?
it's like when you're speaking about whatever.
Trap Ross is a
And he says something very, very key there. DJ Academics, or he doesn't go by DJ Academics anymore, but Academics does the exact same thing. Like, he's gonna go after, he's not with anyone, bro. He's a journalist. He's gonna say what he believes, what he feels, etc. Even to people that he loves, like Drake, bro. Because it's his job. Do you know what I mean? And a lot of people have smoke for Academics in America, but as much smoke as they have for him, they also understand that he's very, very vital for the culture and they need him. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're going on to streams with him, doing interviews with him, etc. Like, Ak is him. Do you get it? So in the UK, that is now just growing. The scene's growing into what it is and what it eventually will become. It's like we're still having growing pains. The scene, in my opinion, the scene should be way bigger than it is, but we've seen that it's been limited because either people have been scared to do things, or people haven't been receptive to new change, or the people at the top, maybe a lot of decision makers and a lot of things get done, or people are funny behind the scenes, etc. It's part of the game, do you know what I mean? But that's changing in real time. But as it's changing, the early adopters are always going to be the most problematic because they're going to have to make the most noise before any changes can actually be made. Do you get what I'm saying? So yeah,
I know them vibes, you know.
It's like when you're speaking about what.
Trapper Ross has already been on a few of the bigger platforms out in the US, like Vlad TV, where he explained exactly his situation with Central C.
That's what I mean by like, he didn't grow up in the hood, you know what I mean? I'm gonna even do research after this video, right? Just in case someone comes in the comments and be like, oh, you didn't even know about Trapper, you know what I mean? But as far as I'm concerned, from the things that I've heard him say, it's what I said, where he didn't grow up in ends, you know what I mean? But he had an interest for it. He had an interest for the music, interest for the culture, and you can clearly see he's passionate about it, you know what I mean? But even the way he portrayed, like, you wouldn't see man from ends basically dressing like this or portraying themselves like this unless they've made, you know, enough money to now do like a Tiny Temper kind of mood, you know what I mean? But look, I swear down, like, I said to my boy the other day, bro, there's gonna be a day here where all these trackies that man's wearing, if man needs to start dressing like this to start making a bit of cash, bro, you know what I mean? Like,
he knew that.
And obviously that's about compromising your soul and stuff like that, of course, you know what I mean? But you also have to realize that how your dress is dependent on how you dress, you know what I mean? It's life, innit?
There's tension there, and he's gone over and spoke to Central C. He still approached them to try and sort this out.
Okay. Which is, you did a post where you said, don't get me wrong, 10 out of 10 album, one of the best to hold the mic in the UK, but it's based on a persona that other people lived. Maximum artistry, minimum authenticity.
Yeah.
That's pretty harsh.
No, I feel like that is hard. That's the thing is, I feel like at the time, I feel like I was on a thing of almost like, so, okay, here's the thing. Central C has basically taken over the UK rap industry. You can't say anything bad about Central C. No one wanted to talk about my video when it dropped. Central C's just done the Met Gala. Every page in the UK is posting it, glazing Central C. Oh my God, I can't believe he's at the Met Gala. This guy is the biggest genius. He's the GOAT of the UK rap scene.
And to be honest, like I said, he is, bro. He is. No one else has done it that big because we haven't had someone that's had the perfect blend of talent, the perfect blend of, you could say, being marketable and understanding marketing as well, and just doesn't want to go to jail and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Wants to actually play the game for what it's supposed to be. So if other artists were willing to do this, then of course there'll be competition. But when he says there's no competition, it's only him. We can't deny it, bro. We can't. If we're talking solely the music, okay, we can now say, okay, this person can go against Central C, this person's better musically, etc. But we're talking in terms of the music in general, right? We're talking about numbers, we're now talking about the market, we're now talking about public appeal, we're now talking about his run. And the thing is, people keep on forgetting that rollout, yeah, from Next Up into Day in the Life into Molly into Loading. In my opinion, at Loading, that's when I personally said, yo, this guy is undeniable. I remember even having a conversation with Hargo, right, when I met him. I was like, bro, how did you make that beat? The producer of the tune. I was like, bro, please, like, explain to me how you made that beat, bro, because it's dumb. You know what I mean? When he made this song, that's when I said, bro, the guy's undeniable. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Because the first tune, yeah, Day in the Life, for me was sick, right? But I was still like, okay, who's my man? Because obviously, we've known, I don't know about you guys anyways, but I've known of Central C for a very, very long period of time. Like, from when he was collaborating with Cairo Keys, when he was still doing auto-tune rap. I know some of his old engineers, etc. So they'll always say, yo, like, watch out for Central. But when he did Day in the Life, I was like, okay, cool. No worries. Molly, some people love it, some people hate it. I was like in the middle with it. But when he did Loading, bro, you feel me? So that's the thing with the come up of Central C. But my people, them, nonetheless, I don't want to make the video too long. That is literally what's just happened, right? So Trap Ross got, you could say, pressured, right, by YBs, and it's part of the game. It's part of the L's that people basically have to take. But big up to absolutely every single person, such as, for example, Central C and his team, Trap Ross, and every other person I mentioned as well. People them, like the video if you are, like, love the content, right? The likes, it helps drive the algorithm, help build the channel as well. You can see I'm a small channel, but we're looking to build it all the way to the moon. If you like my take on things, my perspective on things, make sure to like, make sure to comment. Let me know your thoughts as well. If there's anything I've said that you guys disagree with, say it down in the comments. I respond. You get it. I make sure to subscribe because we upload daily on this channel. I'll make sure to see you guys in tomorrow's video. Peace.